Hello and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Winona and today I'll be playing Mad Lad. And I'm can't speak. I'm accompanied by the wonderful and amazing.
Hey, I'm Mandy. I'm playing a funky moon penguin named Stella Onnets, and she is here to cause havoc.
Nice. Whew. Maybe so where is Stella right now?
Well, she's in a back alley near kind of the center of Toontown, and, well, she's not intentionally knowing this, painting the wall of a theater house that she used to work at.
I see. Let's see. Make a perception check, and I'll make a stealth check myself. Let's start off with that,
Perception.
which will probably be easy because Mad Lad has disadvantage.
Okay. Uh,
It's exclamation 1d20 plus whatever modifier.
Let's see my perception. I see.
Let's see, do that again. Yeah, here's the thing. He has a pretty good stealth modifier. He's just wearing armor.
Oh no, he's going to be found out probably
But,
knowing
mhm.
only if let's see. That's an 18.
Yeah.
Stella, who is just like bopping and humming to herself. She just kind of what? Hello?
Yeah, say you hear the clatter and a little bit of racket, maybe a cat yowl from the alley, as you see this small child, say small child come running down the alley with
Uh
with a bag of some kind. And he stops to see he stops and looks around as he sees you, and he's like, hi, you're not a cop, right?
no, darling, I'm not. What are you doing?
Mad Lad sort of takes a little sigh of relief as he takes another look back behind him and seems like he lost the cops for right now. And he goes over, I was just stealing myself a little snack. As he shows her what's inside the bag, which is full of candy.
Oh my god. Yes, good. Stella just sees that the candy looks behind them. Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he then like looks say is Stella still painting the wall or
She's got like a bucket in hand. She doesn't have a brush out. She's just like looked like she was about to. She was like in mid throw, like she's about to like yeet the paint from inside the bucket onto the wall.
I see. Mad Lad looks at the bucket. What you doing?
Looks at the wall that already has almost this horrible rendition of probably Starry Night, but it's like all the wrong colors. Uh, I'm. I guess it's vandalism. Uh,
Ooh, vandalism. He looks at the wall. Ooh, graffiti vandalism.
yeah, my friend told me about it. I don't know a lot about it though.
Me neither. He sets the say he puts the bag down. Though it always looks sort of fun. I mean, it's just like painting on the walls, right?
That's what I'm doing.
Can I
I
join ya?
just told. I mean, sure. I've got more buckets to paint, and I've got big paintbrushes.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. By the way, my name's Mad Lad.
Oh, my name is Stella.
Nice to meet you, Stella. Say he then like goes to say, are there buckets? Say he goes to like if there's buckets around, he's gonna go like like look at the buckets to see what colors he wants
Uh,
to start with.
it's only the one that she pulled out, and actually, I have to roll for what freaking bucket of paint it is because Stella pulled it from her hammer space, and I made this a thing that I
Mhm.
have to roll a d8 to
I
see
see.
what color it is.
I see.
3. 3 is yellow. It's a there's this giant tin of yellow paint.
Ooh, nice. You have any more colors?
She rifles through. She digs her little nubbin hand into her like hoodie pockets, and I'm gonna roll one more time to see what color she pulls out. 6. 6 is blue.
Ooh, ooh, blue, blue, blue! And Mad Lad makes grabby hands towards. That's my favorite color.
It's coincidentally mine too. She hands it to him.
Nice.
Willingly hands. Wait, should I have rolled for like hammer space
I mean,
the second time?
technically, probably, but we're having fun here.
Shush. Yeah. Don't worry. It's fine.
Yeah.
Dang it. They just Stella goes. I'm just gonna say that Stella throws back the bucket, the yellow paint bucket, and just splat onto the wall.
Ooh. Mad Lad takes a different approach as he like sticks his hands in the bucket and
Oh yeah.
like cups his hands and just like splatters it on the wall himself. And then,
Oh yes.
and maybe making like some just smearing on the walls too.
Oh, that's good. That's real good. I'm gonna quickly do something real fast.
All right.
I forgot I didn't shut my door before this started.
Oh no, you're fine.
All right. So Stella is just. I'm gonna roll for hammer space now,
All right.
because I should have. Oh God. What do I have to roll for?
1d10.
1d10.
It has to be above a 1.
That's a 9.
Yep, you're fine.
Okay. Stella pulls out a big old paintbrush
Nice.
and she starts spreading the yellow paint.
Yeah, Mad Lad sort of like goes over to like probably the empty bucket and tries to scoops up like some of the residue yellow and mixes it with his own hands with the blue and makes green as he
Ah,
as he just like paints the walls with his hands.
coincidentally, I have another thing we can add to the chaos.
Ooh, yes.
I'm gonna roll once again for hammer space because I have an item that might make this even more chaotic. That's a 3. Oh dang.
No, it still makes it.
Okay.
Yeah, it just can't be a 1.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Stella pulls out a like those industrial bags you can get at like office supply stores where they have like a bunch of paper clips or something
Oh,
inside.
yes.
Inside this plastic bag is literally a flour bag full of like glitter.
Mad Lad like smiles like glitter.
It's the really bad kind too. It's like the really small glitter.
Yeah, he's seen this glitter before. He has used this glitter before. And man, he's gonna pay for it later, but he's just he needs this day. Say for those in the audience who are say listen to Mad Lad, this is a couple weeks after Bait and Switch. This is like he's just starting to come out of the apartment because he was in the apartment for a little bit.
Mm. Stella just like cracks open the bag and literally is like, "Go ahead."
Yeah! Takes like a full handful of glitter and
Yes.
just like pounds the wall of glitter.
Stella grabs a flipper full and just starts throwing it at the wall.
So, you really like art or just the vandalism part?
I like art and vandalism, I guess.
Mad Lad nods. What kind of art do you usually do that, isn't vandalism?
Well, I actually uh, used to do backgrounds for this theater. You know, like those like backdrops that they paint.
Mm hmm.
I did that.
I see. What did they do to piss you off?
My boss used to call me Stella Sonnets instead of Onnets, which is my real last name.
Oh?
It was really annoying. He was like trying to make a joke the entire time, and it just wasn't funny.
Bad Lad's gonna take a second and see if he actually gets what her boss was trying to like the joke.
Well, her name is Stella Onnets. Stella Sonnets. There is a sonnet named Stella in the world that exists.
Yeah, but say he's not really musically inclined. Like I get the joke, but I'm not very sure if this child would.
Let's see if the child knows.
He gets it. He nods. I see. Well, it's not
Mm-hmm.
nice if you don't want to be called by a certain name. I can understand that.
Yeah, it's just after a while, he said it so many times after billions of times of just me brushing it off. I just kind of snapped.
Mad Lad is quiet, but says, "Yeah, I don't blame you."
I might have overreacted though.
Ooh, what did you do?
I kind of broke props and destroyed my own property.
Ugh. Yeah, I could see. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to break the guy's stuff. It's another to break your stuff in the process.
Mm. She kind of just like, oh gosh. And like she just touches her dreads and she realizes her mistake because it was the flipper that had the glitter and now she has glitter in her hair. She just makes a face like, oh no.
Yeah, Mad Lad gets a nod. It's like, yeah, I've had worse. Trust me. My first experience was with glitter. I didn't realize that he points at the glitter. This sort of stuff doesn't come off easily. I was
Trust me, I've been in enough parties to know that it's chaos to get out of your hair.
Mad Lad nods. Yeah. Also on your skin too. I swear for a whole year I kept finding little bits of glitter come off.
Mm-hmm. Trust me, when you've been to parties on the moon, you kind of get used to it.
Mad Lad has wide eyes and looking at her like a oh expression. He's like, "You're from the moon?
Yeah, I'm a moon penguin.
I didn't know there were penguins on the moon."
You did you know that there is a famous one that's actually a movie director?
Huh? No.
DJ Moves. She literally I imagine she points to a billboard that has like a movie poster for DJ Moves literally across the street.
Oh, him. I recognize him. I didn't know he was from the moon though.
Yeah, that's why he has the sunglasses.
I mean, it makes sense now, but I've seen penguins before. I've seen in colder places. I thought you were just from maybe. I mean, I shouldn't say all penguins are from cold places. That's a bit racist. But I mean, I didn't know there was penguins on the moon. As he does like the pointing, the motion, the meme motion towards up in the sky in the moon.
Please know that Stella has a hand clasped over her heart. Like this is the cutest thing that she has seen. This This tiny boy is just so cute. Yeah, I've lived in Toontown for a very long time, but my family is from the moon.
That's so cool. What's it like on the moon?
Very cold. And it's kind of like walking is just like a lot lighter. You just kind of float for a little bit.
Is it say can you fly on the moon?
I mean, if you jump real hard,
Ooh, that's awesome. Is it sort of like I don't know, like swimming? I don't know. It's like when you're underwater, you feel like you're flying. Is it similar to that?
kind of, yeah, sometimes.
So cool. Wait, you said there was parties on the moon. Like there's lots of parties on the
Well, it's because my parents were they were musically inclined people, so they both went to like celebrations and parties, so I was kind of brought along when I was little.
Mad like is not. I can understand that. I say I used to live out on the sea. Unfortunately, I was on many missions with my family, but I say I was too little for most of them and not experienced enough to like actually join them.
Please know that Stella's eyes also go sparkling when he mentions the ocean.
Oh my yes.
Oh, I've never seen the ocean.
That lad sort of like looks to the left. I'm guessing like the ocean, like well, no, Toontown's not close to the ocean. Is a no. There was a whole I already did a whole FPS about that. Never mind. Is a I forgot for a second. My brain is fried. And that lad
Yeah.
smiles like really big. Yeah, you should go see the ocean sometime. It's so big. It's so blue, and it's kind of cold. It depends on what season it is. Sometimes in the summertime, it gets like bath water. It's so warm.
Mm. I used to see the ocean from the moon. It just looked like a little marble, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, say it. I bet everything does look like really small up there.
I mean, the moon looks like a marble even now from down here.
Yeah, it looks sort of barren. Like, is it actually barren, or is that like a trick of the illusion? Is that like an illusion?
It's an illusion.
Bad lad nods. I see. Are there? It's like, is it like covered in cities? Are there like actual like forests there? Like, are there moon forests? Are there moon oceans?
I think so. We have a lot of underground water stuff.
Ooh,
Wells?
cave
I mean, cave water.
cave water. That's always cool. But you gotta be careful. My mom's always said, be careful when you go into underwater caves so you don't get lost. So you always make sure to have a rope around you so you can get out of there.
Mhm. I mean, my house was on the dark side of the moon, so it was a lot colder there.
Ooh, dark side of the moon. So it's the part of the moon that we can't see, right?
The backside.
Ooh, not that because of not affirmation. Cool. Let's see. That's let's see. I even this is awesome. Never met anyone like you. I mean, the moon sounds so cool. How like do people like go to the moon like for vacations and stuff?
I mean, occasionally me and my family do.
Whoa. I wonder if one day I could go to the moon. That'd be awesome.
You probably could if you tried hard enough.
Yeah, I want to go to the moon someday. I want to see what the Earth looks like from way up there.
She even like using the two colors that they have, like draws a tiny little marble of the earth, but with the wrong colors.
Bad Lab watches her draw or paint.
Yeah, it's just a little tiny marble, so small.
Yeah, Mad Lad sticks his hand back in the blue painting and like does finger paints with stars in his own like a crescent shape of a moon.
Oh yeah. Just like Stella doing little stars and sparkles.
Do you say you go on vacations? Do you ever want to like go back to like stay?
There's a pause. Probably not. I like living in Toontown.
Bad Lad gives a little.
It's
Sorry, you go.
it's it's a little hard going back home sometimes. It's just I don't get to see my family a lot, and they just don't get me. You know, it's I'm not like most people's perception of moon penguins,
I
and
mean,
well,
I never knew what a moon penguin was until right now. I think you're pretty cool.
yeah.
I understand that. They think all pirates are mean, but I'm a pirate and I'm not mean, or at least not all the time.
Stella doesn't know. Wait, let me roll for history and see what Stella if Stella knows what a pirate is. She's not. Oh god, her
Oh,
wisdom's
yes.
not great. Oh god, she has a negative modifier to history. Oh no, that's a 4. She doesn't
She
know.
doesn't know what a pirate is.
Stella's just like internally thinking, what the heck is a pirate?
Oh my. Yeah, but it's to say not many people get me too sometimes. Like, I mean, I like burning. Like, I'm not always one thing. Like, I don't like. I love burning stuff and making a ruckus and stuff, but it's not always me, you know.
Mm-hmm. Most people think that I might like disco music or loud parties and stuff, but I'm more quiet.
Bad lad nods. Yeah, generalizations is the word if I remember correctly. I don't like it a lot. I don't like generalizations.
Mm, it sucks.
Mm, bad lad nods. Yeah, but I like to say I like the way you are, though.
I like the way I am too.
And you should be proud of it. To say you don't have to be what they say.
Yeah, I don't mind really. As long as my dad and my brother don't care, I don't care either.
I see. Whew. Yeah, I would say I got out here just to get away from family a little bit. To say nothing is like too wrong, and you can make an insight on that.
Yeah, she just like looks at like she does that mom look at him,
Yeah.
like uh-huh. Uh, insight. I have a +3 in that. Ooh. That's an 8.
Yeah, you don't really get anything. It's just like I just want to get away from family for a little bit.
Hmm. I don't live with my family at the moment. I'm actually living with a roommate of mine.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm not old enough to do. Well, I mean, I could if I wanted to. I've lived on my own before, but I don't like living on my own. I like living with other people. It's just what I've always been accustomed to.
You should meet my roommate. He's really chatty.
Ooh, nice. Who's your roommate?
His name is Pungu.
Pungu. Nice. Is he a
He
penguin like you?
Mhm. But he's from I think the Uncanny Valley.
Oh, the Uncanny Valley. Say some of my family is from the Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, he's kind of like kind of goopy in a weird way. He's a penguin, but he kind of looks strange.
I see. It's all right. The one who's taking care, say, my dad, who's taking care of me right now, he is, well, he has a cake for a head.
Blink, blink. Uh, oh.
Madeline's just smiling at this.
Visible confusion.
Yeah, he looks really weird. Like, you should have seen him in a house. Is a yeah. He likes switching his heads too. Like sometimes he's a cake, other times he wears a mask. Is a yeah. He can change faces pretty much, but he prefers cakes.
That is really cool. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Stella, never seen those object head.
Yeah. Yes. He assumed that she knew what object heads were.
She now knows what an object head is.
Yes.
She
Mission
will look
accomplished.
this up later.
Yeah, but me and my family is a again. I just want to get away from them for a little bit. I just he just sort of like looks at the painted wall. I don't know. I've just had a lot on my mind lately, and I don't know what to do.
Well, taking time away from family and just thinking about what you want to happen and what you need to have happen is really important.
Yeah,
Taking a breather from things is always, well, good. And getting a second opinion is the best way to solve a problem.
I'm gonna make a say. You would know. Say Mad Lad like thinks about something, and I'm gonna say say what do you say? Get a second opinion on something. He's gonna let's see. What do I want to roll this as? This is for a roll for myself. Uh, probably yeah, history. Oh,
Oh,
Mad Lad, like he takes what you say very seriously, and but when the moment you say get a second opinion on something, he then a light bulb seems like go and it doesn't actually happen, but it's like sort of light bulb moments where it like hits him in his face. And he like looks up at this colorful mishmash of colors and wall, and he's like, "That's it!" And as he like gets a moment of inspiration, I know what to do.
yeah.
I didn't think. I mean, it happened. Say, yeah. He said, yeah. Sammy said, yeah. So, yeah. I could talk to her about it. She would be able to help me.
Uh, I mean, sure.
Yeah,
Stella, she's just standing there.
yeah, pretty much. You wouldn't know it either, but there was a game a long time ago that
please,
happened.
please know that her hair floofed out when he shouted.
Yeah, he's like point. He's just like points. He's just like that's it, like up in the air. He just like knows what to do. It's like
She's so poofy now.
yeah. And after he makes that shout, why don't you roll a perception check, uh,
I
Stella?
will perception check. Please be good. Please be good. That's a 2.
Roll with advantage
Uh,
because they're not being subtle.
no. They're kind of standing out in the open. And also, a child and penguin are kind of hard to miss. 15.
Oh yeah, I say it's not like so. You see, as you hear, and you first hear it, and you hear the sound of a whistle as two Toonkind cops round the corner of the alley, and your clock of right is like, "Oi, there's that kid! Oi, wait, graffiti, both of you! Oh, you're under arrest!"
That is not a crime, sir! She, she shouts.
And yeah, Mad Lad sees the cops. He's like, "We gotta run!" As he grabs her flipper and they start running.
Yeah, then she starts waddling and running.
Yeah, and this is where the chase scene just begins. And I'm really happy about this. It's just like I'll be rolling for different obstacles for us with a D12, and depending on what we do to get around them, you have to make certain rolls.
Okay.
All right. The first obstacle we get to is a small crowd, and they say there's a small crowd on the street that they have to get around.
Ah.
So, depending on what they want to do, you can make a dex to weave through or a strength check to bowl right through them.
I'm gonna do strength.
Mad Lad is going to try to weave right through them because he has a little bit better dex. Because
That's a that's a natural 20.
yeah, Mad Lad is not making much wait, was it enough? Let's see. Wasn't making much progress, but you were able to clear this thing and get a path for him.
Yeah.
And it's
This
a
tiny 3'4" penguin barreling through people.
yeah, it's a you were able to bull right through these guys, no problem. As the cops sort of get caught a little bit in the crowd, and you're able to make some headway in them.
Oh,
And
good, good.
then say, "Nice job," Mad Lad says.
Yeah.
Woo! As for four, you come out even at a bigger crowd, a medium-sized
Oh,
crowd down the street.
uh, Stella groans.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do Dex this time to see what happens.
yeah. I say Mad Lad's gonna keep doing his dex. Oh, nice.
Oh wow, that's an 11.
Yeah, thankfully Mad Lad's got ya as he grabs your hand and is able to like deduce out the clearest path, and you guys weave through the crowd with relative ease.
You're really good at this.
You get when you're small and nimble, you might as well use it.
Yeah, that's the benefit of being tiny.
Mhm. And let's go with another obstacle. 8.
There's a bigger
Somehow
crowd.
somehow you see someone carrying a bathtub, but the bathtub is spilt over, and now there's just a giant like watery spot, like soapy spot, like
I
right in
have.
the middle of the sidewalk.
Can I cast Precipitation? Just clear the way.
I will allow it
What do I
because
have to
that is a
roll to
very
cast?
creative use of a spell, and I love it.
Okay. 1d10 plus
I say, what are you
3.
making the roll for?
Oh, does it happen instantaneously?
Yeah, it's a cantrip.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. And so she waves out her hand and just like this blue little like sparkly dust clears the way.
I love it. And you are able to like you say with that single motion, you get a really good jump from these cops. Though there's you can still see them in the distance, but you really made some good headway with that smart thinking. And Mad Lad just smiles at you. I didn't know you. Say you know spells.
She casts precipitation to just like sparkles around her.
That's awesome. I'm not a spellcaster, but I know how to make a gun.
What the heck is a gun?
Mad Lad, he's gonna reach into his hammer's base. Yeah, and he takes out a pistol.
Stella just her eyes bug out.
Well, I did technically make this one, but I did make this one, and he's gonna try to pull out his hand cannon, which he does.
Oh my god. Please know that Stella, her color saturates when she sees the other.
I also have one more, but I don't have enough hands.
Like she just becomes an even brighter blue.
Yes. Yeah, you say we've almost lost these cops. Say, let's see what obstacle we have next. Let's do another one. And say, let's not try to do repeats. A 1! Alright. There is a cabbage stand that is on the sidewalk. Oh. And say, Mad Lad is actually gonna be. Mad Lad is gonna actually, with some inspiration from you, is gonna take his hand cannon and aim at this cabbage stand.
Oh my god.
And most people at home probably know the exact joke that I'm going for, and I'm not sorry. Yes. Yeah, you see Mad Lad take his hand cannon, and with the perfect shot, the cabbage cart explodes in a fiery eruption, and you hear the guy say, "My cabbages!"
As Stella and him are running past, Stella throws gold in his general direction. I'm sorry!
That was fun! Though you didn't need to throw the gold.
I feel bad.
I know.
She's chaotic good.
Chaotic good. Yes, I love this. Yeah, and this will be the last one we'll do to get away from the cops. Though I sort of want to. You know what? Let's end it on this one. As we explode the cabbage cart, we say Mad Lad like ducks Stella into a park area, and they quickly lose the cops. That was fun.
Yes, she just kind of wobbles on her like stomach, like she hasn't done that much running in a long time. She is dying.
Mad Lad is a wait. I'm gonna make a straight D20 to see if he remembers to actually pick up the bag of candy. Nope, he forgot the bag of candy.
No. Wait, can I roll to see if Stella remembered it?
Sure.
Knowing Stella, she probably would pick it up if she could. No. No.
Yeah, I can see like that. Like Mad Lad immediately just like goes for the bag of candy. Then he like feels around himself. He's like, "Oh man, I forgot the candy."
I do have something that you would like.
Oh?
Probably. I'm gonna roll for hammer space. Again. 1d10. That's a 9. Yeah, that works. So Stella pulls out a sheet of stickers and sticks a gold star on his forehead.
Mad Lad makes that noise as he looks up and sees the star sticker. I do like that.
Yeah, I got these as a joke gift, but I kept them.
I love him, he said as he like takes the sticker from his forehead and puts it on his shirt.
Very good.
Yeah. What kind of say? What kind of spellcaster are you? As he like smiles at you now.
Stella, and she's not gonna roll for hammer space because this is a thing that she can just summon
Uh huh.
because tune.
Yes.
She pulls out a ukulele.
You're a bard.
Yes, I am. Strum.
That's awesome. I love bards. Can you
Yeah.
sing?
Uh. No.
Oh.
I can play real good, but I'm a lore bard mostly.
Oh, I see.
I tell stories.
Well, why don't you tell me a story then?
All right. She strums again, and I'm gonna see what I was just gonna say this is performance.
Yes.
I'm gonna roll for performance. Got a +3 in performance. Let's see how well she does. Oh, that's a natural 20.
That's a dirty 20, yeah.
That's a dirty 20. So her story is essentially a tale about a little penguin going on a journey to see the world. And it's a very cute like child wonder like story.
Aww.
It's kind of similar to the Little Prince, but some parts are different.
Oh, I love it. And Mad Lad is you fully enraptured Mad Lad with your story. You can see his big eyes as he watches you like intently, just having that childish wonder of imagining the story.
Mm-hmm. And as like added effect, she just throws in like presentation to like the imagery that this tiny little penguin going on a little journey flying around. You
Oh,
know, cute little added effect.
oh, I love it. It's so adorable.
Yes.
That was a good story.
Thank you. My mom told it to me once.
Nice. Whew. I have to say, my mom's told me a lot of stories too, but a lot of them had to do with ocean adventures that she's had in the past. I'm trying to make some of my own stories though.
Same here.
Whew. I would love to say, I really want to explore more of this land though eventually. I know I'm a bit too small right now, probably, but I've already seen what Toontown has to offer. If the rest of Inkwell is anything like Toontown, I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah. I like to see the world too. Maybe go to Ghibli.
I've been to Ghibli before. My dad took us on a vacation there, which turned out not to be a vacation. It was more for his work, but we still had fun there. We got to beat up some bad guys.
That definitely sounds interesting.
Yeah. But I'd like to go back there again that isn't like work or, hoo ha fighting related as he like does that little kitty motion of like punches and stuff.
Yeah, maybe I should see the ocean first before going to Ghibli.
Mad Lad gives it like a very energetic nod. Yeah, yeah, you should go to the ocean. You should really see it. Maybe sometime I could take you to the ocean.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it's really big. It's really blue, and there's a lots of animals in there. But you got to be careful with some of the animals. I mean, most of the time they're like small and like harmless, but there are some ones that are small but yet very harmful. Like there's these things called jellyfish, as Mad Lad like start, I think this may be. Do you have anything else that you are you want to?
No, Stella's just got her hand like flippers behind her back, nodding every so often as Mad Lad is just going rattling off all the sea creatures that are super dangerous.
And the ones that aren't dangerous too. He like tells about
Yeah.
like it leads from like, oh, this one's dangerous, but then if another version of it is not dangerous, and he like goes on rattling off about different sea creatures and stuff.
Please know that I will have proficiency on anything ocean related because Stella is very much taking it in.
Aw, nice. Yeah, I think that's is a yeah. Unless you have anything to add, I think that's a good place to stop.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I say I love these two beans.
Beans being good.
Indeed. I love them so much. Is a yeah, thank you is a thank you for like doing this. I'm glad I'm able to do this with you. And again, I'm so sorry for the lateness.
You're very much good. I love this. I very much hold these two softly.
Indeed. Well, yeah, I know these two softly too. Hee hee hee. But anyways, thank you guys for listening in on this FPS. I hope you have a I hope you're having a good time whatever it is in your time zones, and I hope you have a nice day and or evening. Bye.